Hi, I'm Ross Nethery with Sports Business Journal here at the 2022 Sport Techie Horizon Summit. Our guest is Richard Barbier, Head of Strategy for the WNBA. Richard, you were just on stage talking, giving attendees a little bit of behind the scenes of what the WNBA is doing these days. One of the things you said that I found most interesting was how the league pivoted during the 2020 season. There was the pandemic, there were social justice issues, so many more challenges, remote work, loss of games in arenas. But it turned out to be a pivotal year for the league. Talk about how the league adjusted and how you're building on that.
Sure. I've got to say, it was one of those unexpected but super pleasant surprises. Leading into 2020, we just grew our headcount by over double over the span of just 12 months beforehand, right? And so as we scrambled to figure out how to execute a season, there was a lot of questions going into that process, right? But once we got to the single site, I do feel that the WNBA ecosystem, both players and league, just really began to gel. And so from a league standpoint, while we were scrambling to think about how to make a single site work, everyone took on different roles that were completely unexpected. But on the player side, they continue to deliver the exceptionalism that we've come to expect from WNBA athletes, despite the fact that they were in an environment that was so significantly different. Where 2020 started to move the needle significantly is the fact that while players were standing out on a lot of the social and political challenges that the world was facing, we were well positioned to amplify our players' voices in ways that we've never been able to before. And so as a result of that, I think it really brought the community together, whereby a trust was essentially built, right? Whereby our players knew that they could turn to their teams and league personnel and know that they would represent and have their back in a way that I don't think existed prior to 2020. And so from there, it really became a joint effort to roll up our sleeves, teams, league, and players. And that's what's led to a lot of the success we've seen in the recent years.
So you talked about growing the league digitally, and I think that builds upon what you were just mentioning about all of the different ways that the league is reaching its fans and new fans. So digital growth, what's the key area for you there?
Yeah, I think when we look back at it, what our fans have been telling us in so many different ways is the fact that they're clamoring for a community. And when I think back, even dating before 2020, finding us was a bit of a challenge, right? Whether it's on broadcast or just player stories or even what teams were doing within the community, our fans really had to put in work and go to a number of different sources to figure out how can I be an effective fan of the WNBA. Coming off of that 2020 season, I do think we doubled down in our commitment to really revamp the way that we come across to our fans from a digital landscape. And so our League Pass product, for example, has undergone a significant upgrade in terms of the look and feel, but we've continued to listen to our fans and understand that there is still quite a bit of tinkering to do there to ultimately meet their needs. But it really doesn't stop there. Our apps, our online presence, we want to make sure that we're answering the questions that our fans are asking and ultimately delivering something that's even better than they've ever seen across other leagues. And so when we think about growth going forward, that is an area that we will double and I dare say triple down on to ensure that we're improving.
So that fits directly into what you were calling the marketing North Star for the league in 2022, making it easier to be a fan.
Correct. And I think that right now, we're in a space for the WNBA where so many new products are being introduced. So for example, Fantasy WNBA Basketball is a new initiative that our partners over at ESPN launched just this year. And I gotta say, the buzz is huge, but fans don't necessarily know about it. How do we work with them to ensure that they're aware of what is new and they know where to access it without having to do too much? Let's make it easier for the fan.
Not everything that any organization tries works, and some things work that you really didn't give much hope for. What's been kind of the biggest surprises for you either way in the last couple of years?
So when I think about what has worked that we had no expectation on, I gotta say, just this past weekend, we launched WNBA Live, which was a 2-day outdoor festival, right? And I've gotta say, we had high hopes for what that event would be. But in terms of the engagement and the ecosystem, and again, I keep referencing that term, But the WNBA ecosystem of our fans, our teams, and our players coming together in a unique way, I mean, I'll share with you, I was standing near the entrance at one point, and a number of fans were exploring new merchandise that was exclusive at this event. And who'd happen to pass by but our MVP, Jonquel Jones, literally making a purchase step by step and side by side with some of the youngest fans of the league. These sorts of authentic moments aren't the sorts of things that you can script, but it's why the WNBA is different, and we should think about different approaches to growing our league going forward.
Fantastic. Richard Barbier with the WNBA, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching.